Hello everyone, I'm Kevin Berryman, CFO of Jacobs. It gives me great pleasure to talk to you real quickly about a couple of bits of news for our company. I'd like to really focus first on talking about our results for Q3, which we were very excited about. And there was a couple key things I want to make sure I highlight to you, which translates into a pretty exciting message that's developing for the investor community and our people. The first one is revenue. This is the first quarter that we've had in a bit where we've actually started to turn and show some sequential growth. We had highlighted to our investors back at the second quarter earnings call that we expected that to happen. It did. And actually, our revenues grew by about $200 million sequentially versus second quarter. That's important because we've been going through a 2-year process where we've really been trying to downsize, get more focused on businesses where we can make money. We actually have walked away from some business because we didn't think it was in the best interest of us collectively as employees and our shareholders. And so we're now transitioning to that opportunity to now grow. So that happened. That was really great news for our third quarter results. The second thing I'd like to talk about is not only did we grow, but we maintained a very high gross profit margin associated with that growth. And when you combine those two together, that translates into growth at higher margins is great stuff for investors and our employees. So it's creating an environment where there's sustainability improved profits going forward, sustainability in cash flow, and ultimately translating into something that's bigger tomorrow than it is today. And what all of that translated into was an EPS of 79 cents for the quarter. That's up versus actually the second quarter number, and it's also up versus the year ago number. And that's also an indication that we're making this switch from kind of focusing on getting more cost effective, looking at the businesses we really want to go after, starting to make those investments, and now we start to grow. So really good stuff in the Q3 numbers, really excited about that. So we talked about that with our investors over the last couple of weeks. The other thing that we announced over the last couple of weeks was the acquisition of CH2M. And that is a great addition to the Jacobs family. We announced the acquisition. It's a $3.3 billion transaction, and it's really about lining up with our strategy. We put together a strategy that we presented to our board of directors and our investors last year, and it really was about focusing on those businesses where we knew we could win, where we can make good money, and we're growing. And the CH2M portfolio of businesses does exactly that. They're great in water, a growing business, a high margin business. They're great in nuclear remediation, great margins, great growing business. Same thing in environmental. And they also have great capabilities on iconic projects like the London Olympics and the Panama Canal work that was recently done. Those are things that when you marry up with our global platform of Jacobs, 1 + 1 does equal 3. And so the opportunities for us collectively as a team starts to translate into a growth engine that becomes even more exciting to be a part of. So if you think about what our vision really was about, it really was about being the premier solutions provider, solving our clients' issue so they can survive, become more productive, more profitable in a sustainable and more connected way longer term. This company helps us really reach that in an accelerated manner versus us trying to do it ourselves. So at the end of the day, alignment with our strategy, incredible people that will become part of the Jacobs family and ultimately combine to become a new entity that I don't believe exists today, which translates into us to be even a more powerful growth engine longer term. So if you think about being part of Jacobs, you should think about becoming here. You should think about right now is the time, because we're going to be a company that's going to be busier tomorrow than we are today, because the greatness of these two companies will combine together, create something that doesn't exist today, and lets us continue to drive toward that vision of becoming the premier solutions provider to our clients. And at the end of the day, that's the bottom line.